So, for those who wanted to see Hollywood burn, well, perhaps your wish is becoming a reality. Let's talk about this. What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about CineWorld closing all of its venue in the US and the UK and how that directly affects Hollywood. We can call the Hollywood apocalypse is going on right now. And you would think in a worldwide pandemic, the rich and famous would not be the one affected, because, they have all the money to go wherever they want to go. But this directly affects all the actors, it directly affects the studios that are producing films. And in my latest reaction, I was actually mentioning, is the future of movies just stream? I believe right now, yes, but I'd like to think that that's not forever, because I love the movie going experience. I love, seeing a movie with a crowd. But of course, during a pandemic, people show not they're not safe. They're not feeling safe to go watch a movie yet, And lately with Tenet, a Christopher Nolan film, it really proved that most people are not feeling safe to go out and watch films. The movie basically bombed, In certain places, movie theaters are not even open. New York City, it still didn't open their movie theaters. And now with CineWorld just saying they're closing the venues because James Bond film was postponed again. And to be quite honest, I don't even know how to keep up with the dates anymore. So many dates are changing because movie studios, they spend so much money in these films. They want to make sure that they get the profit back. And if people are not willing to go watch these films, not only that, the movie theater itself to open, it depends on regulations, that depends on the state. It's just one thing after the other. Long story short, even though a lot of people want to see Hollywood burn, and even though this does affect them directly, the sad part is the thousands of jobs that are being lost right now. In this article by Empire, it says that 45,000 jobs lost, at least on a temporary basis. 128 CineWorld and Picture House venues will be shut in the UK, while 536 Regal cinemas are to close across the pond. The plan is to monitor the main film release situation, which will govern reopening plans. It's really, really, really sad. If you go on our Twitter account, we can confirm or consider the temporary closure of the UK and the US cinemas, but a final decision has not yet been reached. Once a decision has been made, we will update all the stuff. So this was October 4th, and now it's actually, they said, yes, it will, the update is that they will indeed close its venue. And as much as I'm also one of those people that have been really annoyed with Hollywood and what they have been doing with our beloved franchises of lately, messing up beloved characters, creating token characters for the sake of diversity. And I've said many, many times in many videos that I think diversity is something really beautiful. It's something that most people welcome. I want to see that in films, but what I don't want to see is a token character, that is only there because it's going with a trend. I'd rather watch creative stories where you can really see that the director, the production is really caring about a certain situation or a certain character, and they're not just going with a trend to make money. Because my biggest problem with Hollywood nowadays is that it seems like everything that they do and they create, it's because they want pats in the back, and they want to be called woke. Oh, look how woke they are. They really care about minorities. They really care. When in fact, if we really analyze the latest films, the stories are not that great. They're not really doing a good job. They're basically stealing stories that's been pre-established and given to females, for instance, and just saying, look, this is progressive. And in my way of seeing, that's actually demeaning, because it's throwing crumbs. An example of that I could say would be the female Ghostbusters. That movie was just not funny. I'm sorry, I love those actors. I think that they're hilarious. I've seen them in other films. I have nothing against that, but I just think that the movie itself didn't work because it was basically stealing the story of a beloved franchise we already have and not acknowledge that universe and just giving it to the females because woohoo, female empowerment. You know, this is the kind of stuff that I don't like. I'd rather see creative stories that really worry about female stories. You know, why do we have to steal stuff that has been pre-established? And it's one thing after the other, you know. And I'd like to say that as much as I think that Hollywood really deserves what is happening to them, at the same time there's many thousands of people being affected by this pandemic. You know, for instance, people that work in these movie theaters, that's really sad. You know, for instance, the crews, you know, I mean, movies and the shows are still happening because the idea is that movie theaters will come back. We just don't know when. But for the time being, it's just, I don't know, guys. What do you think that is going to happen to the movie theaters? I just think that every single time you open the news and entertainment, you see all these films are just getting delayed and delayed and delayed. We were supposed to have seen Wonder Woman 1984 was in March, and then it was the summer, August, and then December. I'm pretty sure they will delay it again. It's hard to keep up with the dates because it's hard to figure out what's happening with the world right now, you know. And I know that this partially is not the fault of, you know, of the theaters owners, you know, CineWorld, this decision, because if they don't have people going there, there's no money coming in. How are they going to pay everybody? So it does make sense, but at the same time, it scares me a little bit because like I said, I love the movie theaters. I love going to that experience. And I'm hoping that this is only temporary. And I'm hoping that as soon as, I don't know, we get a vaccine, that things are more in control, you know, that movies are going to go back to normal. But what do you think, guys? Drop your comments down below in this whole situation with the movie theaters. Do you miss it? You know, do you care? Or are you one of those people, I'm fine with the streaming service? And I gotta say, I think streaming was, you know, Netflix did so well during the pandemic because, my goodness, if there weren't Netflix right there, you know, I don't know what people were going to do. I, myself, pretty much watched everything on Netflix, I think. So I think streaming service is something that is definitely one sort of entertainment that we have access to, you know, but it does not provide the same experience that a movie theater does, for instance. You know, you're not there with a crowd. I don't know, it's just, there's something about going out of your house to go watch a movie at the movie theaters. I really love it. I hope that it doesn't die. I really hope that it returns. Tenet was proof, guys. Tenet by Christopher Nolan completely bombed, and it's a movie that you would not think it's definitely a movie that would not have bombed if we were not during this pandemic. I'm 100% sure. He's a renowned director, you know, people love him, and but that was proof enough that people are not ready to return to the theaters. Anyways, guys, that is what is happening with the Hollywood apocalypse. Celebrities are leaving Hollywood. They're going all around the world, you know, movie theaters are closing, people are losing jobs. But I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Do you think that this is the end of movie theaters, or this is just a phase? I'd also like to hear, what do you think? Would you even care, or are you just okay with the streaming service? Drop your comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye!